Alright, just wanted to show an update. Wanted to give this Annie double jointed knees. Wanted to adjust his torso a little bit. I like it. It adds a little bit more to his height by doing this. And all I did was swap out legs with some Stormtrooper. One of the Stormtroopers that had boot swivel, because obviously this Annie has boot swivel, which is really good. But you gotta do some modding. For now I put a rubber tube in there that holds it really nice. I'm trying to pull on it, it doesn't come off. Nice and rubbery, has that solid feel. I might do something more sturdy in the future, but if I get another one. But for now, this one's pretty decent. I like this. Anakin's always been my favorite, so to have one that I can actually pose around and play with, it's decent. Don't have to worry about some SHF Mafex. And in terms of the height, now this is a custom Obi-Wan that I've done. It's using one of the newer bodies, but I gave him the double jointed knees from his old body. And that height difference is not too much. Anakin's always been a little bit taller, but he might be a little too tall right now. But it's okay. Just show some of this. And I did some mod to the torso so that he's able to crunch down a little bit more. So before he only went to like right there, and I got it to where he can go a little bit further, just a little bit. You can't really do much without tearing up this leather rubber look. And then I also shaved down under the armpits so that he can close his arms a little bit better. Before he would stand like that, but with his arms down all the way, it just looks so much better. I also trimmed out a little bit in the butterflies, but it doesn't really do much because again, it bends, but it does not bend as much as you would like. See, like, he's able to get arms crossed. That'd be nice if he stayed like that, but because of that rubber, Now with my SHF Anakin, I just took this and this off and replaced it with fabric that looked more satin and kind of like, fabric leather. I don't want to do that to this because I like the way this looks. But man, if they could just figure out how to get the arm to cross his chest, so he can hold the saber with two hands. Most Jedi should be able to do that with no problem. But Hasbro and their Star Wars, it's like a hit and miss, and when it's a hit, you still gotta modify or add something to it. Oh yeah, I also put some shadows under the eyes. Can't really tell, but I did. Makes him look more depressed. I also gave him this little lock of hair. It can bend and move, so up and out of the way, or dark and brooding. I added some paint. You can't really tell, but I added brown around the belt in the middle. Silver studs. You know, these little things, they matter. Silver in the middle, gold on the outside. Those canisters weren't even painted, so went ahead and touched that up. You know, I did the same thing I did with over here with the belts. The belts, you know, they kind of, like, the only thing that you can add paint to if you don't want to weather the suit, but why not do it? It's like a splash of paint, especially if you have a marker. It takes a second. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith.